cut it off. Just cut that thing off. And he goes, cut it off? Are you crazy? The Air Force would freak. Like that. He said, because the Air Force will just freak.
One day that he was doing he was tucking in the zipper, and we shot a couple of things. And then I noticed that I was wearing the wrong wardrobe. Literally, I'm in the wrong color wardrobe.
So
we shot a
totally
scene.
can't see the forest with
Oh
the
yeah.
trees.
So I left the room wearing the On Atlantis outfit, the grays.
Yeah.
And I had arrived in the scene, and we just shot this thing with the whole black, military outfit. And I was still in it, and we're shooting it. And he's like, and then I suddenly went, Gary. He's like, mm-hmm. Gary, I'm in the wrong clothes. And this is always his response. No, you're not. Gary, I think, and then he'll pull out a Polaroid, like at random. They have these Polaroids that it's like, no, see, look, you're wearing the right thing. Gary, that says 56. We're shooting 54. We need a moment. Can you change here? Yes, Gary, I can change. Barry. I'm saying, Gary, I can change here.
I thought you were just referring to me as old queen. Yeah.
He's very. It's quite a cast of characters behind the scene.
God.
Which is actually why the Star-Crossed. This is why we've been working on this. We call it a sort of Larry Sanders meets Stargate. Basically, sort of behind the scenes of a science fiction show.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things I'm working on right now. So, which is fueled a lot by SG-1 and Atlantis, because there's something so incredibly ridiculous about shooting sci-fi sometimes.
Yeah.
With the green screens and the these poor idiots running around in big rubber heads. And, I remember the pilot episode, and we're being chased by Wraith drones, and we're like, and we look behind us, and there's these guys. They're hitting trees. One of them had the gun backwards. We're just like, oh God. And we're like, they're not even gonna get past the pilot. 5 years later, we're like, yeah. He's like, which way's the gun point? It doesn't matter. just point at us, and they'll put a little laser thing in.
And the guys that are always like the sort of the great equalizers are the Teamsters, because they could care less.
Yeah.
You think you're in this like really important show, and it's life and death, and sort of like moral dilemmas, and they're just like, yeah.
They're like, where's the tuna?
Yeah,
I only had a peanut butter.
Yeah, where'd all the cookies go?
Yeah.
They say, oh my God, like they just sort of, they put it in perspective for you.
Well, that's like love scenes. Like you sit there, I have like make-out scenes with people, and everyone's like, well, yeah, I got to make out with Amanda Tapper. I was like, yeah, there's a guy. It was like like a giant, this huge 300-pound guy holding a flag just behind him. She's like, hey, this guy.
Nobody. Each person, it's like each person just wants, is just concerned about their apartment.
Very specific.
It's like, I'm a lighting guy. I don't care what else I don't care what you do. I'm the lighting guy. So that's all I care about is the lighting. And they just look at everything as so they go, let's rehearse, and then you're making out with a man, and they're just like staring at you like, what's the lighting look like? They don't care.
David,
that
can you not get so close?
Yeah.
Because you're shadowing her.
Yeah.
You're supposed to kiss her.
Yeah. Can you kiss her without shadowing her, because it makes the lighting department look bad?
Yeah, it's such an odd technical thing to do. The best one I thought was we had the guy from Kids in the Hall. What's his name now? Dave Foley. Dave, I don't know if you guys got Kids in the Hall, but it's a fantastic comedy series out of Toronto. And this guy came in, and we're shooting the scene. Again, there's people dying, and freezing to death, the planet's about to explode. And we do this take, and he just sort of sat there for a second, and he went, acting's a stupid job. This is like, and we all just went, yeah, you're right. It's a really stupid thing to do for a living.
Yeah.
Anyways, and then action. Oh my God, we're all gonna die! He's also the one who said, when I met him, he said, I hear you got married. Congratulations in the short term. Been married twice, I'm trying to get divorced now. He said he was screwed, absolutely screwed. Yeah, yeah. Second thing, I'm sure he'd love me talking about this, actually. Does anyone have any questions?
Oh, there's one right there.
You did we had the screening yesterday of the Dog's Breakfast.
Dog's Breakfast. Yeah, I'm sorry it was so dark. There's something about, apparently when you take a DVD and you play it here in the wrong region on NTS or whatever that something, it's why it was so dark.
How did you actually end up getting your co-cast to join you in such a project?
You have to have blackmail material. And
Paul's the role of
yeah,
double role.
Well, Paul McGillian asked to do something in a dress, basically, and it was the only thing I could think of for him. Actually, that was actually Martin Wood's idea, because I had him as a chap wearing a motorcycle cop with a large handlebar mustache, and you haven't seen the film. Poor Gary's just like, I don't know what he saw. Martin Wood said they're never gonna, they're gonna recognize him right away. I was like, well, yeah, he's allowed to recognize him. And people are allowed to know who this guy is. He said, nah, girl. And I went, oh, yeah. And then he got so into it, he started showing me all the shaving he'd done.
Paul's relatively pretty.
I don't need to see Paul is not pretty. Paul is like the opposite of pretty, to a degree. To a power of not pretty. But I forgot what the question was.
Well, you mentioned about bribery. What did you do to encourage the
Paul? No, I didn't actually. Paul was just so desperate for friends that basically he begged and he offered to make lunches for people. So I decided, to take pity on him and put him in the movie.
And Chris?
Chris, I always been slightly scared of Chris, him being huge and all, and my wife knows him, and from a dark past. There was apparently
Him
a lot
being
of
the dark part.
him being the dark. There was some drinking and carrying on apparently, and he was friends with an ex-husband or something like that. I don't know what the exact history was, and she again, I had an idea in mind for this character in the script, which was just kind of a complete fat, ugly loser guy who just can't. There's no way he would ever get a date type thing. We were thinking like prosthetics, like just what making him just hideous. And then Jane said, what if you get Chris? I was like, don't tell Chris that. Chris can get a date in a second. Well, that's the point. Like maybe it'd be better if he's the kind of guy you'd go like, why the hell wouldn't this go? Why is this guy online looking for dates? So I asked him and he said yes. I mean, I never really worked with Chris, because every time I showed up on SG1, he was stuck in a gate or a puddle jumper. It's like, hey, I get to work with Chris. No, Chris is never there. Chris is always somewhere, in another scene somewhere saying, indeed.
You know what? That's true because somebody asked me once about what it would, if I could come through the gate, what would I say? And I said, and this would be my line, just coming through the gate. And so it's like, I don't know, sir. I could have sworn Teal'c was right behind me. He's always oh, go on, I'll do my shoe up, and then he's like stuck on a planet.
He did that a lot, didn't he?
That's the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could have sworn Teal'c was right behind me. Now we gotta go back. That's the episode.
He is just lovely. I mean, I was a little nervous because I heard he's quite a character on set.
Yeah. Oh, he is.
And but he showed up, and my God, he was just like the set came alive. Like he hit on every single female.
Yeah.
I'm convinced that he slept with my wife, and we just loved having him. It was just, and I actually wrote. We did a read through. He's supposed to do one little scene, and I loved it so much in the read through that I wrote a whole other. I actually wrote a little subplot for his character because I just love working with him. That guy's like. There are some people who have this light. There's like this kind of like they just when they show up in a room, there's this fantastic kind of sort of quality to them that sort of brightens up a room. And Chris is.
I know you should see like on
he could be in a stadium.
On
SG1, go like, hey,
I swear
Chris
to
got here.
And I swear he would like. You should see the difference between doing a take and in between the take.
Mm.